Hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome to another ES Futures Trading stream. Today is Friday, October the 3rd. It is 8:27 a.m. Eastern Time in the US. We are just a couple minutes on non-farm payrolls. I think the most expected number for the week, 6675. $66.75 is saddle. Let me put saddle. This is saddle. Pretty much same as yesterday. This is yesterday's high, or previous day high from yesterday. Last is 65, pretty much the same as said. Okay, we got a new all-time high made in the overnight. The previous high has been taken, has been replaced by another overnight high, and we have a number coming. The structure of the market is very weak below. We can have a big spike here, really huge spike, maybe all the way down to here. If it doesn't happen, the fact that it can happen, it doesn't mean that it will happen. Got to be clear with that. Right? And there were no big blocks at the close. I would say that the market is on its own now. This area here that I have here is where the market closed yesterday. Okay. Here it is. Let's see how this market. Oh, there is nothing here. There can be something huge here. Let's see. Okay, muted. Nothing happened. It's very weird, huh? Is it? Very weird. Let's hear what the talking heads have to say here. Look at the volume here. In this one, how many ticks? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ticks. There's nothing here. Probably was exactly as expected. No bad, no good. Is this the first week Yeah, this is the first Friday of the month. 8:30. Am I wrong here? Maybe. What the heck? Wait a minute. Wait a minute here. There is something weird here. I just have unemployment rate here in this calendar. Unemployment rate. And I have non-farm for Tuesday. What the heck? This isn't this weird? October, right? Non-farm payrolls I have Tuesday next week, not today. And FOMC on Wednesday. No press conference. Well, that explains many things here. Huh. Really, this is something that I haven't seen. I mean, I was because I have non-farm payrolls here on Friday actually. This is here. Right. Because every Friday, every first Friday of the month is when we have non-farm payrolls from the previous month. And that didn't happen. That has changed. You know, this is something unexpected. I mean, even though it was published there, even though I have in my calendars, I was so used, I was so used to have it on Friday, and that may explain some of the craziness that we are seeing here, right? During this week, especially yesterday's, what the correction that didn't come here, because that number actually is now scheduled for Tuesday. Huh. Let me see what this. I guess the shutdown is front and center now. Did you hear that? You know, that's interesting, right? That's Fed goes me telling that the unemployment rate would have been the same, which is unchanged, right? 4.3. But this number has been delayed because of the shutdown, and this is the first time that happened. That's man. There's something weird here. So that has left everybody hanging here. I guess that can actually let this market. I don't know if this now I don't know if this market is going to make any corrections that we have here, or is it going to keep building inventory in this area, right? Kind of like trading sideways. Because if it keeps going higher, man, that would be really, really, I mean, risky, very risky. So now, now that I have, now that we have these news, right? That are not news really. I guess what comes to play now, just before the opening or for 2 days, will be this low here. This is a late pullback. I'm going to call this a late pullback low. Late pullback low as my main reference coming into the opening. All right. And what I'm interested in seeing here is first where the market opens relative to this low. Opening up here, all right, will be a sign, can be a sign that this was just a rebalancing of this weird structure, weak structure that we have here. I'm interested in seeing what the market does relative to this highlighted area here, because that is where the market started to accumulate, right? Close. It started to close. I have realized yesterday I did the intention was to make a small stream at the close, highlighting this the fact that there could be some rebalancing of this at least overwhelming for me long inventory facing or in the face of having this number, this non-farm payrolls that was supposed to happen today. But there is always somebody who knows something. I think this has to do with that. Same thing, like for example, what happened with Oracle. I didn't understand. Come on, what was happening with Oracle? We had that huge spike in Oracle, and kind of like a week later, we have this news, right, that Oracle was potentially being or highly favored to being the company that could manage TikTok here in the States. And there's always somebody who knows something. But that was carefully managed. The beans were not spilled, right? It doesn't seem like so many people knew about this. But now I will use this as my reference. I still consider that the market may have potential to try to rebalance this. Right now, opening in here puts the market inside previous range, which is a sign that the odds of rotation and chop at the opening are increased. The odds of chop and rotation are high here. There might be, notice all of this inventory here, all of the inventory that we have here, all of this, right? All of this inventory they have here is long, right? All of this is long, and there is a rebalancing that is in progress right now. How much volume do we have here? That's another story. All right. Thousands here. Do we have thousands here? We do have thousands in this level. All right. But the rebalancing is not that virulent. It's been nicely. We have settled here. Now, if the market opens up here, having this low exactly as settled, that's a big question. Usually, when markets do this kind of thing during the overnight, maybe not today, right? Today is different, because if this pullback would have come down to here, for example, and then come and do this as it did, that is, only this is having that thing is increases the odds that the market may have some kind of rebalancing. But remember, those are just odds. Okay, I'm going to watch what the market does relative to this low here. Okay, what the market does with relative to this movement, and I consider this as a late pullback low. the structure is very weak. We have two lows exactly at the same level here. Then we have this one coming from halfback, this one coming from halfback as well, and yesterday's low being a previous day POC. Okay, so if this will keep going higher, it's just adding more. We know who is behind. All right. Now, also the fact that it's opening inside previous day range, inside this range, increases the odds of chop, increases the odds of rotation. I will let the market settle here, more likely. I'm going to pay special attention now more than yesterday to what the market does relative to value area, to yesterday's value area. If it keeps building inside this area, it just adds more value to this, more value on volume to this area. The more volume, the more value is added to this, the more the dynamic, the resolution that can happen now on Tuesday, because we may have now, if that happens today, that will add to yesterday's, and probably Monday may continue. So we may have some sort of range here at the highs. We have an all-time high that was made during the overnight. Lack of excess here. I guess my main thing into the opening is what I have just talked about, this one, and what the market does during the day relative to yesterday. If it starts, for example, if this market starts to going lower, but value is higher, okay, we'll be very careful there for some sort of short covering at the close. If the opposite is true, right? If the market tries to go higher but value is lower, it's below this one, market keeps trying to move higher but value is lower, I would check something to the downside maybe when the market gets close to the close. But I think there's a lot of interest here, right? There will be something interesting to see here, because this is something unexpected, right? That is part of the business. We many times, most of the times, assume that we know things, but forget, right? Usually forget that anything can come out at any given time. Anything can happen. That's important part, right? Otherwise, this business would be really too easy. I'm going to close this. There's too much memory. Let's take into my computer, and I'm going to just observe this market. I don't have anything here right now. I may come later, maybe around noon, to do something. And if I see anything here going on, I will just come. I can post that on the Discord or call or start a stream here. But the same thing that I got here, same thing applies to Nasdaq here. I would also be watching the other markets. I'll be watching, for example, what do we have here? With that opening inside previous day range on Nasdaq, yes. Russell has gap to the upside. Probably will open with a gap. The Dow is again working in this area, in this level here. This now is support. The same thing that happened with this level may be happening now with this. I've been watching these ones as well. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful day. If anything happens, I will